Hey, what's up? It's Emily from Make Tech Work For You, back for another Tech Talk in the Woods. And today I want to rant about standards, best practices, accepted forms of operating, and reality. So in our databases, I always like to say we're trying to make our databases reflect reality. So let's say 5 students came to your class. We want your database to show 5 students were in the class, and someone who wasn't in the classroom could take a look at your database and get an idea of what happened in the real world. So we have best practices and standards and step-by-steps of how to use data and technology. Here's one example. When you're making a change to your data system, your tech system, your CRM, something like that, you should, best practice, make it that change in your testing environment, in a non-real environment, so that you can see how it works and not mess up anything from your real database, your live one, often called production. And then you can push the changes from your test environment to your real environment. Best practice, right? Standard way of operating. In the real world, though, sometimes you just need to add a pick list value, or you need to add a question. And yeah, it might have implications for other parts of your database. It also might not. We need our tech systems to reflect reality. Reality, guess what? It's messy. Sometimes it's fast-paced. And it doesn't always follow the standards and the best practices. That's just the way it is. So, does that mean we throw those things out the window? No, of course not. We can have an ideal. We can have an ideal way of working. We can have an ideal for what our databases look like. But we shouldn't be tied down to those things. How do you make your database reflect reality? How do you make your work life reflect reality? That is a question that I've been pondering, and I don't have an answer. There isn't an answer, really, just like in the real world. There's multiple answers. But I would be really interested to hear from folks. When do you employ those best practices with your data and tech? When do you always make a list of requirements and check that list off and never deviate from them? And when do you go into a meeting and say, all right, what's up? What do we need? Let's do some stuff. Let's work it out. Let's make it work right now. When do you test a change somewhere else and then put it into your live environment? When do you just make changes in your live environment? It can be different for each organization, for each project. It can be different for every tech system. But I don't think that there's only one right way. And I certainly don't think that the best practices and standards that are taught are necessarily the right way or reflective of reality. So I'd love to hear from you about this reflection of reality in your tech systems and how you work within and outside of best practices and standards and things like that. So, all right, looking forward to more of these. Hear from you soon.